Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's Destin.Choice and you're watching Choice TV. So in today's video, I wanted to get on here and talk about why a lot of YouTubers have honestly left and pursued other ventures. But I more specifically wanted to talk about where a lot of them went. I discussed throughout the years, why YouTube isn't really what it used to be anymore and what caused people to get away. I'm gonna say what a lot of your favorite faves probably won't say, and I'm gonna just be honest. Ain't no fucking money! Nah, I'm kidding. Not really though, but there really is not as much money in social media as there once was. There is a lot of money in social media if you have like a brand representative and you're super viral, like on a level of like a Mr. Beast or some shit, or like on a level of like a Jackie Aina where you're cashing out on deals of like makeup stores and shit like that. That's kind of when it becomes a really, really big deal to be a content creator nowadays. However, being a content creator nowadays just doesn't really pay as much as it once did because let's be honest, you don't really see a lot of new YouTubers blowing up. But speaking of the fact that there's no munyon in what I like to call the global economy, what really inspired me to get on here was Trey Melvin. Now, I'm pretty sure most of y'all know Mr. Trey Melvin from This Is a Commentary. Essentially, I want to talk about Trey Melvin because if y'all didn't know, Trey Melvin recently went on this crazy deletion spree and he deleted all his YouTube videos, and that brought a lot of his fans surprised because for 15 years they supported his channel and he basically told his followers, screw you guys, I'm privating everything and putting it on Patreon, and now people pretty much have to pay just to watch his old viral videos. He was quick to address why people were upset, and he basically said, oh well, I need to make money and a lot of y'all aren't supporting my new projects, so you're not going to be able to watch my old projects.
Hello, beautiful people. I'm Trey Melvin. You're probably here because you're wondering what happened to all of my iconic videos. I'm gonna keep this video short, sweet, simple, and to the point. They ain't here and never again shall be. But if you can't live without them, you're in luck. I'm producing a new half-hour show titled Flashback Friday, exclusively on my brand new Patreon, which can be found at patreon.com/Trey Melvin. Flashback Friday is a brand new series featuring old sketches exclusively for my paid Patreon subscribers. And new episodes are released every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on the dot. In addition to unlocking all of my old sketches on Patreon, you will also unlock the unfiltered cut of all of my future productions, exclusive behind-the-scenes footage.
And essentially, people dragged him to hell and basically said, why would you literally private videos when we supported you? Millions of people all over the world supported these videos, helped you buy your nice fancy house in Florida, and elevated you in your platform and everything. And he didn't care. He wasn't trying to hear it, so he turned off the comments. And essentially, it stirred a lot of controversy, and it kind of brought the conversation of why a lot of YouTubers are genuinely sick of their audience. And it's mainly because the support isn't there. So many of them kind of have to allocate their finances, their means, their selves, their time, their energy elsewhere. In these hard times that I like to call the global crisis, many people are struggling to even keep the lights on. So I can only imagine what he's going through trying to keep his house afloat, keep his housing situation stable. And plus, he's been in LA for many, many years, trying to be in LA, trying to be in Hollywood lights, trying to produce movies and films, basically trying to be bigger than what Tyler Perry is. And essentially, a lot of his audience throughout the years have not supported him. He's constantly told people, hey, join my website. Hey, come to my event. Hey, I have this going on, and barely anybody really supports. And part of the reason why he doesn't produce content like he used to is because, again, the money on YouTube is not munyoning anymore. So because it's not munyoning anymore, he got to put his energy elsewhere, and that's moving on to bigger and better things and shutting down every single piece of content you once knew. So YouTubers are talking with their energy, and a lot of followers and fans are not feeling it because they're talking with their dollars and their views. But it doesn't just stop there. As a big FU to him, many of his followers have been rebelling, and many of them have had a lot of his videos downloaded for years. So many of them have been re-uploading them on random YouTube channels, and many people have been commenting, hyping it up, saying, thank you, I missed these old videos, and I'm not paying for none of that ish she got going on for a second time. Then someone said, thank you so much for uploading. Ain't no fucking way we paying for old ass videos. Then somebody else said, I grew up on his videos, so imagine my jaw dropping on the floor when he started charging for them. So people are not playing with him, and people later unsubscribed after that. You don't really see a lot of new YouTubers get pushed to the algorithm, and it's because a lot of people aren't able to honestly grow their brands consistently. Like now it's very difficult to be a popular content creator. Now it's so much more difficult to be seen on YouTube. And the YouTubers that were here, that were eating off the platform, they've expired, and a lot of their audience has grown out of them. A great example is someone like Dslr and Ken. Dslr and Ken was a very popular couples goal channel on YouTube a long time ago. And essentially, where the fuck they at now? I mean, Dslr seems as though that she's still doing pretty well, has a sunglass line, and is doing amazing things in life. And then you see her ex, Ken, is now flaunting his new relationship. And Ken is now making videos talking about my first time trying eggnog. Like, who the fuck is watching that shit? You know, no one's watching that kind of bullshit anymore. He's never really been able to see the same amount of success on YouTube as Dslr. And then we find out that there's lawsuits coming out of him not even able to pay the taxes that they owed on YouTube because they owe millions in taxes and he can't even split it with Dslr. So now Dslr is at a point where she now has to pursue litigation in order to get her money that she feels like she's owed to pay these taxes that she thought were going to be owed. Things have just shifted and changed. You know, one thing I'll also say is when I do get on YouTube now, I've gotten bored over time. And it's not just me that notices this. A lot of people have noticed this. And a lot of times when I do watch people's YouTube videos, I notice that every time they're gone for a while, they come out with a sponsorship. Or I'll watch a commentary video and then the whole video is literally them inserting like an Instagram Live at the end of the video. And that Instagram Live is like for 5 minutes. And there's no really any strong commentary. And what really also made me want to get on here was, if y'all didn't know, that famous couple channel from like, what, 6-7 years ago, Go Juice. I didn't even know they were still together. But essentially, there was a couple channel called Go Juice that made fake pranks. You know, all types of crazy, cringe, couple-worthy shit, right? And they were able to transition their brand, and now they're in a whole other direction. First of all, did y'all know that they do corn now? Now, I'm not going to say the word on YouTube because, again, YouTube's gotten to that point where if you use certain keywords, they finna flag and age trick your shit. Which is another thing I'm going to talk about later. So Go Juice essentially transitioned from doing couple goals videos to now doing corn and OnlyFans content. And the reason why they're doing corn is because, I mean, let's be real. Like, they be bedazzled in diamonds and jewelries and taking nice trips. And then they're living in New York City, living in Atlanta. Those lifestyles are not that affordable. So when you're a couple channel, your YouTube videos are getting shadow banned because you're constantly putting pum pum or, you know, breast in the thumbnail and you're constantly doing fake pranks. YouTube is not paying for that shit anymore. All those channels that y'all saw that were doing these crazy pranks, like finger my poom poom prank, or oh my god, period blood down my leg prank, like YouTube does not pay for that. YouTube is not paying anybody for that no more. YouTube has kind of gone in a more cinematic, you know, TV direction. Like people like Mr. Beast, who's over here putting full-blown cinematic TV shows on YouTube, like that's what's getting seen. That's what's getting people like watch. YouTube tried to tell us years ago, you know, when they came out with YouTube Red and they came out with these dumbass shows that literally nobody watched. Like, did y'all ever watch any of these shows on YouTube Red? They kind of made it clear, like, this is kind of the route we're going. Like, we're going towards a television route, and we want y'all to come out with content that feels more like a TV show, or else we're not going to push you through the algorithm. So unless you got in early, YouTube ain't really fucking with you. Or if you're like Go Juice and any other all these other content creators that make fake pranks and oh my god, peeing down my leg prank, oh my god, throwing my child over the roof prank, oh my god, punching my grandma on the stomach prank. Like if you're posting stuff like that, YouTube is just not gonna push your shit. And it's making them a nice killing, you know, and they're not ashamed of it at all. Like, he's literally posting this stuff all over his story, all over his social media. He's making it very clear, like, join the family. I mean, y'all didn't buy our merchandise. Y'all didn't join our Patreon. Y'all didn't, you know, donate to our super chats on YouTube. So y'all can see us get butt naked on the internet and pay $5.99 for it. So that's kind of where their channel has kind of gone. And the first thing I think to myself is, what the hell is going on? Like, I would think to myself, because they were so popular, because they had millions of views monthly, and because they were taking all these extravagant trips, I would think that they would be okay to where they'd be doing X work. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. X work is never anybody's first choice. So when you're at that level and you see these millions of followers they have, you think to yourself, why the hell are y'all doing corn? You know what I mean? Like, you would think, like, didn't y'all, like, invest y'all money? Or doesn't YouTube still pay y'all well? So those are just little things that I kind of point out. You know what I mean? Like, I remember Austin McBroomstick. I'm sure y'all remember the No Chin man from the Ace family. He went on that crazy rant a couple years ago, and I'll never forget it. But I always reference it whenever I talk about content creators being fed up and tired. And he posted this crazy rant telling his followers, what do y'all mean y'all want us to hurry up and come back? We should be charging you for this content. And I remember just thinking to myself, and people still subscribe to these dumb motherfuckers, but that's on them. So I see stuff like that, and you see a lot of your favorite content creators not posting anymore. And the truth, hardcore truth is because there's not much money in being a content creator anymore unless you're like super, super, super famous and already have an established audience, or you're very, very lucky and you have a lot of buzz on TikTok. If you're like Keith Lee, making Keith Lee money, getting sponsored by all types of like motor vehicle companies, and you're getting sponsored by big name companies, and you're getting sponsored on like, you know, your Instagram to do like a couple $1,000 posts, that's kind of when there's a lot of money to be made. But it's very rare to be a content creator and to be able to sustain it for a long time. Some of y'all keep forgetting that at one point we had people like Tila Tequila, who was a really big influencer back in the early 2000s on MySpace. And then what happened? This bitch over here went on a crazy racist fucking rant, and she's over here talking about the devil and shit like that, and Hollywood, and ugh.
What the Lord God says. Because remember, there's a lot of these, you know, you will know a man by his fruits. There's all these like black women claiming to be the bride of Christ, and many church people out there claiming Jesus was black. But to their shame follows them everywhere. You'll know a man by his fruits. Look at Africa, and now all the African women are bald-headed, and this is what God says about that. The Lord says, the women of Zion are haughty, walking around with outstretched necks. You know how they're always like this with the attitude, like haughtiness, okay? The women of Zion are haughty, walking along with outstretched necks.
That bitch crazy as fuck. And look what happened to her. Now she don't really got shit. And she ain't shit. And she look like shit. But if you don't have a core audience that's invested into you and like you, you're not going to be around for long. Like, there's literally fucking college courses where they teach you how to be a content creator, influencer, how to build a big brand. And
this isn't your conventional college course.
I think you could have been a lot more direct with the hook, like, let's see if Duke students can do the jerks.
Instead of essays, TikToks. And recording rather than writing. Here at Duke University, students are getting an education in influencing.
Is it crazy to you guys that during a class at Duke, you're making TikTok videos?
Definitely. Yeah. This is really the only class I've been taking since I've been here where it's like, it's about what's going on right now.
And they're putting their new skills to use.
I gained 33,000 followers since I joined this class.
Oh my goodness.
I just had a TikTok hit 600,000 views.
And you feel it's directly related to how you're doing in this class, what you're learning?
Paying attention to details.
What is trend jumping? Remind us real quick.
The course is called Building Global Audiences, and the 35 students in it collectively have 5 million followers. But the professor, Dr. Aaron Dinnan, believes it's less about going viral and more about building a platform.
So is this course for someone who wants more TikTok followers?
You could take the course if you want more TikTok followers, but that's not necessarily what I'm trying to get you there. A big part of what I'm trying to do in the course is help you understand that there is a business structure behind social media.
Some of the students in there who are still college students, hundreds of thousands of followers. I mean, that's valuable, right?
The core of the class is that audience is almost more important than everything else.
Are you fucking kidding me? I couldn't imagine sending my kid to school, paying thousands in their tuition, and this. I'm not mad at it, but let's be real, y'all. I'm here to tell you the truth, and the truth is it doesn't really go as far as people may think it does. Now, that goes for any job, realistically. But this whole idea of trying to be an influencer and think you're going to get rich off of it, it's just not realistic unless you have a lucrative plan, great management, or you're very, very smart. Most people aren't very smart. Most people can't get a lucrative team, and most people don't have it in them to be consistent with it. That's why a lot of your favorite YouTubers went from making fake-ass pranks and making millions off of it to now doing corn. I'm just being realistic, and I'm telling y'all what most people don't tell y'all. There are moments of stagnation. You can have moments where you're getting sponsorships from Oreo. Yes, I've known people who get sponsorships from Oreo and Buick and all types of major brands, make mad money, and then you have periods where money is slow, and it's like, how the hell you gonna pay your $6,000 rent? I'm just telling y'all the truth. So again, before y'all sign up for this kind of life, before y'all think this is the easy life and everybody has it easy, it's not what you think, because then you end up like Trey Melvin. Trey Melvin's on top of the world, and now he's talking about how he's sick of leaving his content on the internet for free, and his followers can't even and won't even support him. I'm telling y'all, it's deeper than just making followers and making connections on the internet. It's about longevity, and the average person just doesn't have it in them to do that. So it's kind of sad that they're in class and this is what the fuck they're doing. And I hope this class is free and people aren't paying like thousands of dollars, because these textbooks are expensive. College is expensive already in America, and this is what the hell they're doing in class. Stuff they could be doing at home. And it's cute and creative and all, but then I think to myself, y'all really charging for this? People could be learning this stuff on the internet for free, and they're capitalizing off of everybody's dream and desire to be an influencer. It's really sad the kind of world we live in. It kind of reminds me of those dumb courses that tell people you can make 1 million views and make $1 million in a matter of a week. All you gotta do is join my course. And people will hear me make commentary about this, and people will still be like, "Oh, you're just jealous, you punk." Like, I'll talk about this kind of stuff, for years, and I've had people tell me like, "You're just jealous of TikTok. You're just jealous. You're just bitch, jealous of what? Bitch, I've been around longer than TikTok. Bitch, my YouTube account is older than a lot of people watching this." So a lot of people will sit up here and say you're just bitter and jealous when that's not the case. The case is people aren't living in reality. I've been around long enough to see people come and go, and I'm just being honest that college really should not be teaching these courses. Like, at least teach marketing, but to teach people to be influencers and how to go viral and shit like that, what the fuck has this world come to? And then even the ads, I'm not gonna lie, like, even as a YouTuber, I gotta be honest, the ads are fucking annoying as fuck. They're annoying. Like, there's times where, like, sometimes an ad will pop up and I'm like, oh my god, mute this bitch. Or sometimes, like, I'll be ready to skip it and they talk about some 45 seconds. What happened to 5 seconds? Like, you see an ad that's 45 seconds, you gotta wait for the fucking timer to go down just to even watch the fucking video. And the ads are annoying as fuck. Even the whole 2 ads thing. You know how when y'all, like, watch a YouTube video and, like, 2 ads will pop up? So some of y'all think we have control over that, but a lot of us don't. You know what I mean? Like, I literally will, like, want to watch a YouTube video, or even, like, I'll watch one of my YouTube videos back, and I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is with this 2 ads shit? Like, I don't put that shit there. I literally just tell YouTube to put ads in the fucking video, but they're putting, like, triple, double, 3 ads, and then if you don't like the first ad, you click next to watch the second or the third ad. It's just like, back then I used to actually, watch ads and enjoy ads and actually not mind. Like, okay, let me click on this. This looks interesting. But now ads have gotten out of fucking hand. And it's fucking insane because YouTubers don't get paid as much as the people that are on television. You know what I mean? To literally be, for these advertisers to be on television, they literally would have to pay out hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to these networks just to get a slot during a commercial or a movie. But then there's YouTubers who are getting 2 million views, 100,000 views, 500,000 views, and these advertisers are just paying penny on the dollar for shit. And then they got the nerve to literally, like, want our videos to be flagged and not be monetized, not have ads on it. And then on top of that, what also kind of gets frustrating is YouTube is always interesting shit. One moment, YouTube could be doing so well, your money's going up on the platform. This is from my perspective. And then the next minute, let's say 2 years from now, things are slow. You know what I mean? Like, things get iffy. YouTube kind of pushes you out of the algorithm. Your audience grows up. Or you get to a point where, like, your channel just isn't doing as well as it once was. So those are the periods of stagnation that you kind of have to deal with when you're a content creator. Also, there's times where you'll be completely burnt out. For example, first of all, you could be burnt out of your fucking mind. But if your granny just died, people gonna literally be blowing you up saying, oh my god, where the fuck you been? You ain't posted a YouTube video, hurry up. That could literally drive someone who doesn't have the mental strength and capacity to handle comments over the edge. Because to them, they're just like, oh my god, like, everything was so good, everything was so fine, but like, oh my god, I gotta sustain this. And that just throws people off. That's kind of why I always tell people that if you're ever gonna be a content creator, please don't do it for money. Because a lot of people get on here, they do it for money. They're like, oh yeah, see, I look so good, and yeah, I can quit my job. And then you realize that shit isn't sweet because everything was good for your channel like 7-8 months ago. But then you have a month where you make a little bit of money. Like, I'll be a little bit transparent. There's times like I've been going through my mental health, so I'm trying to focus on like other things and focus on other priorities and focus on life and balancing this. And then because I didn't post consistently, there was one time where I only made like $2,000 for the whole month on YouTube. For the whole month, right? Because YouTubers get paid once a month. I literally only got paid like $2,000 for the whole month. And mind you, my rent is like $2,000 a month living in Los Angeles. Like, you see what I mean here? That's a little transparent moment right there. And luckily for me, I'm not stupid. Like, I didn't just blow away a whole bunch of my fucking money and shit like that. Or I'm not constantly, like, buying luxury designer brands. Like, I'll still shop at fucking Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, I'll still fucking even use, like, little itty-bitty apps. Like, there's an app called Too Good To Go. I don't know if you ever heard of it. This is not sponsored, by the way. But there's an app called Too Good To Go where literally you can just buy food, that restaurants are always going to throw away. You know what I mean? Like, there's restaurants that are literally throwing away, like, crates and crates of fucking chicken. You can go on that fucking Too Good To Go app and you can literally buy it for like $4.99. You know what I mean? Like, I literally went to Krispy Kreme the other day and got a whole dozen of donuts. That would have been $20 if I bought it, but it ended up being like $6, $6.97. And they were going to throw it away. And then the girl was nice enough to throw an extra donut in there. So I use apps like those. I'll still get on the bus. I'll still get on the train. I don't think I'm too good to do any fucking thing at all. I don't think I'm above anything. Like, yeah, you'll see me on the train. Yeah, you'll see me standing at the bus stop, and I won't give a fuck. I don't even have a car because I would love a car, but it's a depreciating asset. So it's kind of just like, do I really want a depreciating asset, especially because I also like to travel? So it's like, let's say I travel when I'm gone for like 3 weeks. Then I can't even enjoy my car for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? And then also, I don't want to have to pay for car insurance. So I'll usually Uber everywhere, but mostly what I do is that I'll just take the bus or I'll take the fucking train. And that gets me from point A to point B. Like, I get to listen to a podcast, listen to my music, clear my thoughts, get some nice cardio, get a nice walk in, and I'll be fine. So when I have those kind of moments, I can cope, I can handle. But what can somebody who literally relies on YouTube, relies on TikTok, what the fuck would they do if they woke up one day and they made like $2,000 in 1 month? What would they do? You know what I mean? Like, my rent is $2,000 a month. I only made $2,000 a month one time when I was like really inconsistent and didn't post for like literally like 3.5 weeks because like I was just like going through my own personal shit and trying to navigate life and sort out something personal going on. Can everybody else deal with that? Not really. You see what I mean? So that's kind of why, to give you guys a brief idea of why it's not all it's cracked up to be entertainer. A lot of us don't just like get on camera, yeah, hey guys, and they just give us like $50,000. That is, it's not the case. And then some people can't really afford to get like a whole bunch of like staff members and editors and assistants. Like, some of us can, but not all of us are willing to do that, and not all of us can afford that. So a lot of times when you're making YouTube videos, to y'all, it just looks like I'm sitting on a camera with a plain white wall, but I'm literally just like, studio lights right here, good quality camera right there, you know, good quality microphone so that way it can catch my voice and catch the audio. It's a lot that goes into it. So when you guys see these things and you hear these things, I hope it helps you kind of better empathize and understand why your favorite content creators were so quick to make an OnlyFans and pop their poom poom for a real nigga on the internet. I hope it also helps you understand why a lot of content creators are now going back to school. You know, you even find out people like Damo Wilson. Y'all remember Damo Wilson from Dumbo and Krusty, that couple channel? She actually went back to school, and honestly, I'm really happy for her. She went back to school, and she seemed like she's doing pretty well for herself, and she's focusing on her life and not really prioritizing the internet like she once was. The best thing you can honestly do is if you could find any way to adapt and to save and to downsize and to live below your means, please do it. You can never be too safe, especially if you're someone that doesn't have much of a savings account. And honestly, for those of y'all watching this that do have a savings account and you do have a stable job, what if I told you that your income that you have now was going to be paused for the next 3 months? What would you do? Don't worry, bitch, I'll wait. What would you do if you couldn't get access to your current income for 3 months? 90 days. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all look forward to y'all checks every 2 weeks or every month or every week. What if you didn't get access to it for 3 months? Who could you really count on? Who could you really rely on in this day and age? So you always got to make sure that you're extra safe. But again, that's my overall perspective on why a lot of YouTubers left, why many were expired, and why a lot of them probably aren't coming back anytime soon. Because again, ain't no money, ain't no bread, ho. Let me stop. Ain't no money. The money has dried up. A lot of brands aren't paying anymore. And if they do pay, you're going to have to compete with celebrities just to even get paid in general. Like, first of all, why do we have celebrities literally competing with influencers on getting video game ads? Why are YouTubers competing with celebrities that we saw on TV with OnlyFans? Like, why are, you know, celebrities offended when a lot of them see us or entertainers and influencers at award shows? Like, why do they get intimidated by that? You ever notice why when you found out YouTube was like stagnating and money wasn't going to be good anymore, a lot of content creators came speaking out about that? You ever notice how when you hear times where content creators on TikTok were talking about losing their bread and butter and losing income and much more? You ever notice that you didn't hear not one mainstream celebrity complain? The same mainstream celebrities that were so quick to say, oh my God, go get the jab so we can all go back to work, or vote for this person, vote for that person. Notice how a lot of them were silent when it came to things like TikTok? Like, none of them cared, because to their head, they're over here having to compete with content creators for brand deals. So why would they care? You know what I mean? Like, notice how not one famous entertainer that you know said anything. They'll say stuff about, you know, black issues when it's trendy and they can post a black square and get brand deals off of it. But they won't say shit about TikTok because they just don't fucking care. They don't care mainly because it's kind of just like fucked up their industry. But anyway, that's all I gotta say on that. Hope you guys enjoyed this entire video. Please just like, comment, subscribe, give your thoughts and opinions down below. And yeah, that's that. Choice out this bitch. You will always be. I say fire to the rain. Watch it burn. I run away. In this turn. And I say fire to the rain. Watch it burn. I set fire to the rain.